The Nigerian government promoting gender inclusivity in all parts of the country. Coalition of civil society stage a protest. Coalition of civil society stage a protest at the Lagos State Police Command headquarters. Against the detention of Omoyele Sowore by the police in Abuja. On a foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump pauses grants, loans, and other federal assistance, according to a leaked government memo. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. Just stay with us. And now the news info. The Senate Public Account Committee has expressed frustration over the continuous absence of the coordinator of the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project, Dr. Olufumi Adekanbi. Chairman of the committee, Senator Aliu Wadada, disclosed during a media briefing where he said Dr. Olufumi had ignored 6 invitations, including the most recent on January 25, 2025, where he cited a meeting with the Minister of Environment as his reason for not attending. Correspondent Kulojo reports that Wadada described the situation as unacceptable, stressing that appearing before the committee should take priority over other engagements.
Next was the 22nd of May 2024. That also was not responded to. The 7th and the last for now is the one for 25th of January 2025. And the reason is that he is holding a meeting with the minister as head of agency. So the minister is meeting with heads of agencies. That is the reason for which he is not here today. This is quite very ridiculous.
Senator Wadada emphasized the need for accountability regarding public funds allocated to HYPREP for the Ogoni Land Cleanup Project. The committee raised concerns over several issues, including total appropriations and intervention funds received since 2022, the utilization of 16.6 billion naira allocated for undocumented contaminated sites in 2023, and evidence of tax remittance to the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) between 2022 and 2024.
Issues which the committee is seeking explanation border on the following. Explain or give reasons why the project coordinator refused to honor the committee's invitations. Give explanations on appropriations for the project and other intervention funds. How much has been received from federal government? Details of utilization of the appropriation in 2022 budget.
The Nigerian government has restated its commitments to promoting gender inclusivity in all parts of the country. Vice President Kashim Shettima made the declaration on Tuesday while briefing journalists on the plans for the forthcoming Gender Inclusion Conference themed Breaking Down Barriers and Building Resilience for Sustainable Economic and Financial Inclusion for Women. The Vice President, who was represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Ibrahim Hadeja, revealed that the event will take place at the State House Conference Center on Thursday and Friday this week, highlighting the importance of women and the need to empower them for national development. The Vice President said the flag
empowering women and addressing official issues of gender equality across Nigeria and the African continent.
That is going on. That is going to come up on the 30th and 31st of January 2025. As earlier highlighted by the Deputy Chief of Staff, no nation can attain full national development without harnessing the full potential of its women. And the She Included project is a component of the ASO Accord initiative. And as we're all aware, the ASO Accord is aimed at identifying the gaps, particularly in terms of economic and financial inclusion, targeting the disadvantaged communities and demographics, of which women fall into this category.
The House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Upstream has raised concerns over the budget figures presented by the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NEITI, describing them as unrealistic and failing to reflect the nation's current economic challenges. Appearing before the committee, NEITI's Executive Secretary, Ojo Bunaya, provided a breakdown of the agency's 2024 expenditures and 2025 budget proposal. It disclosed ongoing effort in collaboration with the EFCC to recover 6 billion naira stolen funds and 66 billion naira owed to the government by operators in the sector.
Then the template is not universally convenient for all agencies. You find the operations that are peculiar to Haiti. For instance, Haiti is an international. There are basic obligations that we owe the country. This is 22 million. Motor vehicle cost, 72 million. Motor vehicle fuel cost. Plant generator cost, 35.5 million. Bank charges, 3.7 million. Insurance premium, 71.0 million. Refreshments and meals, 32.5 million.
The population, our people, for whom we are all here standing for and holding brief for them, are also crying out. Then agencies of government like your own must also be mindful of what to expend out of public coffers.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has expressed readiness to strengthen collaboration with the European Union in sustaining Nigeria's electoral democracy. Chairman of the Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, discloses while receiving the new EU ambassador to Nigeria, Gautam Mignat, in Abuja. Mahmoud recalled that following the 2023 general election, the Commission received reports from many of the 206 election observation missions. According to the chairman, 8 specific recommendations from these groups have led to the enhancement of the nation's electoral system in the areas of dissemination of regulations and guidelines for the election training of election duty staff, employment of electoral technology, amongst others. He further disclosed that the Commission has commenced action by the Commission.
We worked very closely with their predecessors, and we look forward to sustaining the same relationship with you to strengthen Nigeria's electoral democracy. For several years, particularly since the restoration of democracy in Nigeria in 1999, EU's partnership with the Commission and other stakeholders has helped to consolidate the electoral and democratic process in Nigeria.
Earlier in his remarks, EU Ambassador asserted that good democracy could exist only when a credible electoral system.
The group of like-minded countries, other democracies also bringing their cooperation to Nigeria, and we are very proud to do this at the EU delegation. So my message is really to tell you that in these troubled times, in this fast evolving world, we all need constant and faithful partners, and you can count on the European Union, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, to be that.
In order to enhance the effectiveness of the Freedom of Information Act and ensure transparency in government businesses, the Federal Ministry of Justice and the Public and Private Development Center have called for continuous capacity building in public institutions. The Chief Executive Officer, Public and Private Development Center, Loki James Agbagi, made the appeal in Abuja at a roundtable discussion of the submission of Freedom of Information Act 2011 compliance report by public institutions. Correspondent Gulujo reports that Agbagi maintained that the act remains the cornerstone of democratic government, adding that it empowered the private citizens the right to access public information and fostering the culture of openness.
Rankings over the past 10 years have revealed a positive trend in proactive disclosure, with a significant increase in the number of institutions achieving full proactive disclosure.
But by last year, we have about 91 public institutions that complied to releasing government information. The Honorable Attorney General Federation have taken administrative action to ensure that this year, if not half of the public institutions we have in this country, we should have a majority of them complying.
Coalition of civil society and activists staged a protest at the Lagos State Police Command headquarters against detention of Omoyele Sowore by the police in Abuja. The protesters who were stopped at the checkpoint on the way to the command displayed placards with various inscriptions condemning the detention of the activist. The protesters called for total overhauling of the police force, saying only a good and upright police formation will sanitize the country and make it flourish in peace. They said the protest may get bigger if Omoyele Sowore is not released unconditionally from the police detention. The police were not available to react to the assertions because the state public relations officer, CSP Benjamin,
every hierarchy, of the states. So what has happened with Sowore is just a symptom of the many who ideally should be commended is now being hounded by the police hierarchy.
Because now we are not in a lawless country. We need to be lawful. Police has been extorting us. Police has been killing us. Police has been brutalizing us. We are saying no to police impunity. We want police to be trained to de-escalate, not to harm us, not to kill us, not to extort us, not to harm our children. Our forefathers has failed to do this. We are doing this because of our future. We are doing this because of the future of our children.
You're still on to Galaxy Primtime News, and coming up next. The TF Grey List. Details and more will come to you shortly. Do stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more update and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The Special Anti-Fraud Unit at the National Cybercrime Center and the newly launched Anti-Money Laundering Unit of the Nigerian Police Force have arrested convictions and recovering a total of over $15 million and 142 billion naira. Recall that in February 2023, Nigeria was placed on the Financial Action Task Force grey list, designating the country as a high-risk jurisdiction for money laundering and terrorism financing. The ugly trend compelled authorities of the Nigeria Police Force to establish the unit. Addressing journalists in Abuja on the activities of the unit, the Force Public Relations Officer, ASP Muyiwa Dijobi, said the National Cybercrime Center in particular has been pivotal in addressing digital financial crimes, leading to the arrest of 751 cybercrime suspects and extensive recoveries amounting to over 8 billion naira. $84,000 and 115,000 laundering and terrorism financing, ensuring that Nigeria meets international requirements set by the FATF.
Let me inform you, gentlemen of the press, these units have arrested 1,088 suspects for financial related offenses, secured a total of 152 convictions, and recovered the sum of $11,450,000 and $142,261,254,228 naira.
Many communities in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria, have been displaced by unknown terrorists, with many killed and kidnapped. Kajuru is 35 miles southeast of the state capital, Kaduna, and have suffered from attacks in recent time, predominantly inhabited by the Adara and Bagi ethnic groups, who are mainly farmers and overwhelmingly Christians. Galaxy TV correspondent Bozan Yakisak sent in this report.
These locals traveled from several communities in the hinterlands of Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State to come to Kasuwa Magani to take refuge while they live as internally displaced persons. Most of them say they have been displaced from their ancestral lands and they've abandoned their homes and farmlands because of persistent attacks by terrorists. As they recount the ordeal, they say kidnapping, attacks and killings occur almost on a daily basis without any government presence.
Due to insecurity in the Liberian entirely. In fact, many people have left Liberia because of insecurity. So people have been killed, many of them. So if you leave your house, you go in the bush for help yourself. In fact, they will follow you, either they will kill you or they will carry you in the bush. Okay. Due to the kidnapping people. Okay.
Obadiah Zanka, a victim of kidnapping, says they've been subjugated to several attacks and kidnapping. He said at least 15 members of this community obtained as ransom.
What happened to my hand? Kidnapper shooting me with my brother, and even my brother was left now. He was shooting up, kidnapping. Now in the bush, there are a lot of people. They will reach like 15 people now in their hand now. Okay. They are asking for money. Okay. Yeah. We are just managing ourselves and what we are getting. We know even gather our food in our farming. We are the one where we are just managing ourselves. Some people are helping us and giving us some food.
Some women living at the IDP camp, mostly widows, say feeding has always been a challenge because of their children. They are appealing to President Bola Tinubu and all people in authority to come to their aid, as they want to go back to their ancestral land and continue with their livelihood, as they are predominantly farmers.
We need help from the government, but now we are in Kasuwa Magani because of the incident that happened with us. So we need the help of the government to come and assist us. They have been killing us, kidnappers have been entering our village. They have been killing our brothers, our sisters. They have burned our homes. They have been killing our husbands. So now we are out of the village. Now we are in Kasuwa Magani, and we need the government help to come and help us.
We are here 5 children. We beg for Honorable Tinubu may help us. President Tinubu may help us with soldier. We want to go back for our village. may help us because we don't get the thing where we go feed the children for this village, for this town. Na kidnappers.
Yes, okay.
And na kidnappers drive us for our village.
The controller of the Nigeria Customs Service, Ogunere One Area Command, says works is in progress towards resuscitating the long-abandoned scanning machine put in place at the Idiroko border in order to enhance border security. The Customs Area Controller of Ogunere One Command, Mohammed Shaibu, made this known while speaking an effort to improve border security and achieve all the mandate of the service during the commemoration of the International Customs Day held at Idiroko border. He said the command has consistently stood as a pillar of operational excellence, contributing immensely towards fighting smuggling activities, revenue generation, and trade facilitation due to the strategic location of the border. The Ogun State High Court has reversed the installation of Alexander McGregor as the Olu of Orile Ilawu during the process illegal. The judge, Justice Olatokunbo Majokudumi, in her ruling on Tuesday, ordered McGregor to stop parading himself as the Olu of Orile Ilawu monarch in Ogun State, pending the determination of the suit against the processes that led to his nomination. The court decision was in response to a suit filed by Ogunsoya Riku royal family of Ilawo, who had prayed the court to stop the installation and declare McGregor's claim to the throne invalid. Delivering the ruling, the judge condemned the government action in proceeding with the installation of McGregor despite pending court cases, describing it as an act of impunity. In this regard, court all parties are under legal duty not to take any action that could undermine the integrity of the court. The judge also ordered the withdrawal of all instruments and staff of office and all the symbols of authority that had been bestowed on McGregor by the government. Of Yoruba land, Iba Gani Adams has appointed accusing fingers to the Western media for over-exaggerating the insecurity in the country while calling on Nigerians in diaspora to ignore them and always come home. Galaxy News correspondent Shegun Falomo tells us more.
The Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Iba Gani Adams, has said insecurity in Nigeria is not as bad as it is being portrayed to Nigerians in diaspora and the international community. He made this disclosure in his address at the 2025 Odua Progressive Union (OPU) held at an event center in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. Adams noted that there is so much propaganda from the Western media on negative things about Nigeria, hence the need to use the program to discourage that and to correct their mentality. He stressed that efforts are on to encourage Nigerians in diaspora to come home so that
most especially with the rising spate of insecurity in our country. As a cultural enthusiasts, we should be proud of our identity with everything that has to do with our race. We need to show a strong. We should always have it in mind that it is the Yoruba force before any other race.
We should also extend the invitation to Egungun beyond Oyo State, beyond Southwest, beyond Nigeria. This is an encouragement, and it makes me happy that even outside the shore of Nigeria, people have started embracing our culture.
From Ibadan, Shegun Falomo reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Borno State government has released internally displaced persons, another group of concerned individuals, of its avowed commitment towards their well-being and security. The Borno State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, disclosed that security have been beefed up in all IDP camps, including Cameroonian refugee camp in Kwande local government area of the state, to ensure their safety pending return to ancestral homes. The Permanent Secretary, who also doubles as Executive Secretary of the agency, James Uropu, spoke to newsmen at SEMA headquarters in Makurdi during his routine monthly food distribution exercise, stating that the agency is currently profiling IDP students in tertiary institutions to be rewarded financially to support their education needs as soon as the list is compiled. He further stated that it is also seeking ways through sport to assist IDPs overcome their trauma.
We have adequate security cover in all our camps, not just our mega camps. We are in collaboration with the Home Security, the Bureau for Home Security, and adequate security has been provided in camp. I want to use this moment to appreciate the International Organization for Migration. They selected some security personnel in Borno State.
The SEMA boss informed that both the food and other essential items for distribution is not only meant for IDPs but also orphanage homes, old people's home, the less privileged ones as instructed by the governor, disclosing bags of rice, gari, cartons of indomie, palm oil, salt, sugar, among others, are to be distributed.
35 bags of rice, 890 bags of beans, 395 bags of gari, 3,060 bottles of indomie distributed to Abagana camp, Anyi, Daudu 1, Daudu 2, Otisi camp.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has promised to protect the lives and properties of Rivers people by preventing and finding a lasting solution to tackle fire outbreak in the state. The governor made a disclosure while inspecting the ongoing construction works at the Rudumodo Baya Fire Substation with 4 newly acquired trucks. The governor believed that having a fire station across the will reduce dependence on all multinationals whenever there is an outbreak of fire.
We're a government, and one of our responsibility, or what I say amongst our responsibility, is to protect lives and property. Issues of fire incidents, at times.
A conference with the theme Effective Partnerships on Girls' Education Out of School Children for National Development brought together traditional and religious leaders, stakeholders in the education sector, and various implementing partners. Similar discussion had been held in Bauchi, Kaduna, Mina, and now in Plus at the event stressed the need for the implementations of all recommendations made earlier and now.
There's a popular discussion or a phrase, end of discussion. This is end of discussion. We must not meet again to discuss issues about education of our girls again. What we must do is to implement all what we discussed in Bauchi, in Kaduna, in Mina, and here this morning. Implementation is what we need to do.
Security challenges, fear of abduction, harassment, and violence in conflict zones tend to discourage parents from sending children, female children to schools in vulnerable and insecure locations. 4. Infrastructure deficit. Inadequate gender-sensitive infrastructure, such as proper sanitation facilities and distance, disproportionately affect girls, leading to absenteeism.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, in his keynote address, said the government is aware of significant barriers confronting girls' child education in Nigeria, despite several efforts made by successive administration, noting that it is disheartening to see girls hawking on the streets or working as domestic helps instead of sitting in classrooms where their potentials could be unlocked. Speaking in the same vein, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, assured that government will continue to make adequate budgetary provisions for increasing access to education in Nigeria.
It prioritizes the education of their child, recognizing it as pivotal to reducing the alarming numbers of out-of-school children and achieving national developmental goals. The ministry is also advancing key programs like Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, which is specifically designed in states across the nation.
Leadership that traditional and religious institutions have provided in order to ensure that we, consistent with even our scriptures, have provided the opportunity for our women to achieve in society as commanded by the scriptures.
There were several presentations from other stakeholders on the theme of the conference on increasing adolescents' girls' access to secondary education across Nigeria. From Abuja, Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.
You're still on to Galaxy Primetime News. We'll quickly take a break, and when we return, the news continues. To stay with us. We're glad to have you back. The Kanaf people of Benue State have described the recent act of violence perpetrated last December against one of its own as an affront, warning those fanning the embers of discord and unrest to desist from such actions as it would undermine the peace, stability and progress of the state. The people who spoke under the coalition of Kanaf groups condemned the kidnapping of its President General before he was later rescued by security forces, called on every Benue sons and daughters to embrace peace and support the administration of Governor Hyacinth Leah to deliver and consolidate on its developmental strides in the state. The coalition stated that the timely payment of salaries and pensions, revitalization of infrastructure, the support for agriculture and industrialization, and improvement of primary education among the many achievements of Governor Leah.
We, as journalists in Benue State, our duty is to hold government responsible and accountable to people, and also to set the standard for government. What we have seen so far, the agenda that we have set to the governor has even gone beyond that. Notwithstanding, we still do our responsibility of checkmating the activities of all government activities in the state.
And now we'll move over to the foreign desk for more news.
This is news from the international scene. U.S. President Donald Trump has paused grants, loans and other federal assistance according to a leaked government memo verified by newsmen. In the memo, the acting head of Office of the Management and Budget OMB calls on government agencies to ensure spending is consistent with Trump's priorities. The full impact of the pause is not yet clear, although the memo specifies that Medicaid and Social Security benefits are not affected. It comes days after the U.S. halted nearly all foreign aid. The move has been criticized by members of the rival Democratic Party, with one of devastating consequences on programs that people rely on. Diane Yentel of the National Council of Non-Profit said the order could stop cancer research, food assistance and suicide hotlines. Given the spending that is now on hold was apportioned in the demonstration in Belgrade, many smaller protests have been held in towns and cities across the country. The Louvre is crumbling and needs a massive injection of state cash if it is to cope with ever-rising visitor numbers. The letter to the government raising the alarm over power cuts, flooding and failing infrastructure. She said that the famous glass pyramid, which since 1989 has housed the unique access point of galleries, was structurally unable to cope, and that Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, which is seen by 20,000 people every day, may have to be moved. From Wednesday, amid speculations that he may announce a new investment plan. However, his power have been significantly curtailed since he lost control of Parliament 6 months ago. The use of heavy artillery in densely populated areas is causing severe injuries, particularly among children, it added. Both the ICRC and the World Food Programme says their warehouses have been looted in recent days. Reports say at least from Just Stop Oil disrupted the performance of The Tempest, starring Senior Weaver in London's West End. A man and a woman from the environmental campaign group climbed on the stage at Theatre Royal, Drury Lane on Monday evening. Hollywood actress Weaver, who has been sitting in a chair on stage, was escorted away by members of the theatre staff. On Tuesday, police said a 42-year-old woman and a 60-year-old man had been arrested. The Metropolitan Police